So, Don Young blurted out a racist slur against Hispanics. Alaska, how did you score this jewel? Did you guys find a caveman in that Alaskan ice, thaw him out, and make him your congressman?
I think with that propaganda.
I'm cool with defending the Republican platform, but Republicans themselves, that's another story. But Republicans, this is what you get because you elect people based on the wrong things. Y'all keep looking for leaders. We need leaders. We need real leadership. Stop looking for someone to lead you. When you choose a leader, you choose someone who goes in to lead with an agenda based on what he or she thinks. When you choose a representative, you choose a person who goes in with an agenda based on the prominent shared core values of their voters. And a representative-minded person is going to keep in mind that they need to represent their voters in the best way they can. In order for them to represent you, they have to stay connected with you and with their eyes and ears on the culture around you. And it doesn't look like Don Young was doing his homework in that department to know that you don't describe Hispanics, even if they are illegal, with backs of wetness. Of course, liberals came after me saying, "Why don't you go after Don Young, Zoe?" Why? You Democrats have made it your full preoccupation to bash Republicans. Your party's been doing it since the 1800s. What do you need me to do it for? You've got them school systems doing it, radio doing it, TV doing it, movies doing it, etc. But of course, you libs are never satisfied. No matter how much y'all have to bash Republicans with, you still want more, and you want me to do it too? Why? Because you're greedy. I reckon it won't be long before you Democrats aren't satisfied with Republicans just being bashed with media, and y'all resort back to your tactics of raiding conventions, beatings, bombings, lynchings, and shootings. Which reminds me of the so-called Reverend Leon, whose antics have been referred to as some sort of surprise. Do you really think it was a surprise to Obama that Leon was gonna say those things? On Easter even? Like that even means anything to most liberals, right, Google? I'm surprised y'all would even ask that question. It was probably as much of a surprise to Obama as it was a surprise to Downey and Burnett that their Satan character looked like Obama. This guy Leon tosses out that same line about blacks riding at the back of the bus. Barack Obama has tossed out that same line too. But we're supposed to think that this is supposed to be some big surprise? Democrats like Leon keep trying to lay this back of the bus crap on Republicans, when it was Democrats that made it legal for a white person to make a black person sit at the back of the bus in the first place. Democrats know that they're getting cornered though, as people are finding out more and more that Democrats are responsible for the institutionalized racism. Their backup strategy is to make the claim that there was a party switch. All that's been busted. And they're now backed even deeper into the corner. Now they're trying to say that the ideologies have switched, because the Republicans used to be liberal and the Democrats used to be conservative. Democrats will stretch their mouth hole inside out to avoid admitting that they're wrong. You can try to toss around the words liberal, conservative, far left, and far right, knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone all you want. I'm not falling for it. And I invite y'all to grab a copy of my audiobook to vaccinate yourself from Democrats trying to infect you with their twisted terms of liberal versus conservatives. You know that's how they do. They've gone from liberals to progressives and back again. They've gone from global cooling to global warming to climate change. They've gone from calling abortion a reproductive choice to a healthcare choice. Look at the liberal PC movement. Look at how liberals are constantly changing the language of things to fit their narrative. Liberals are always the ones wanting to control language and even diversify our language as if English being the common language is something to be despised. You think I trust Democrats when they're trying to play the switchy game with terms, liberal and conservative? Wrong. Democrats claim to be so progressive as they stifle growth by being very liberal with how much regulations they impose. And as I said in my audiobook, liberals are about as progressive as cancer. Republicans, I can't stress enough about how much y'all really need to work on them communication skills. It's hard to do, I know. And a big part of why it's so hard is because it's hard to argue with selfish and self-righteous people. Every one of us has learned how to communicate with ourselves being the first focus. Mine, gimme, and me. Democrats don't grow out of it. They've been rehearsing their favorite topic of themselves ever since they could shape words. And what comes with being truly selfish is the ability to be a master manipulator. Like the kid that gets busted with his hand in a cookie jar. And you know the response. I was getting the cookie for you. Democrats are in it for themselves, but they manipulate the people into believing it's all about the people. People who vote Democrat are not interested in helping others. They're interested in helping themselves to what others have worked for. People who are elected as Democrats are not interested in helping others. They are interested in helping themselves to what others have worked for. The City of Bell council members here in California is a prime example of that. All of them Democrats. But y'all, Democrats succeed in office because they represent. That's what they're supposed to do, even though they represent the selfishness of their voters. They don't lead them. If anything, they mislead them. But that's the rosy-colored representation they want. They want to blame others instead of taking responsibility. That helps them with their self-esteem, you know. They want to blame Republicans for racism instead of admitting that it's been the very people they keep voting for, the Democrats. They want to feel entitled to what others have worked for and feel justified in saying that others should pay their fair share. Democrat officials represent these people, and they succeed in representing liberalism. If Republicans would actually try to represent conservatism instead of trying to lead, which pretty much leads to misrepresenting conservatism, we'd see better results. See, when you try to lead, you end up watering down conservatism to keep your position, and you end up becoming a rhino because your leadership position is what's more important to you, not your position as a representative. I'm Alfonso Rachel with Zone Nation, and you say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. Well, I think you better come and let me guide you through A, the wormhole, B, the twilight zone, C, the purple rain, or D, the outer limits. Facts of wetness.